I just have to say that I object strenuously to your use of the word hilarious. To me, this feels a lot like your reaction to being named in one of these manifestos. Now, you're of course not responsible for the words of somebody writing that document, but I do think that laughing at it is a real problem because these are real families that are impacted by this violence. And I think our efforts towards talking about this have to start from a place of mutual respect, which is what I've heard from this side of the table. Now, the reason we don't have those numbers, I want those numbers as much as you do, but to say the numbers don't show something is simply not supported by the data.
Okay, and I have 38 seconds left, Ms. Mulligan, if you want to respond within that time.
The only thing I would add is that it's in the name. Terrorism, domestic terrorism, it terrorizes us. It terrorizes us in our homes. It terrorizes us in our schools. And to the points made by the other panelists, it is disproportionate to its impact on any individual life, and it's not.
You reject the idea it's something that doesn't matter, or it doesn't really matter?
Absolutely reject.
Ms. Owens, obviously this is a gang up on you. You know, we're giving these witnesses the ability to do a rebuttal on you, and so you know, I find it unfair, Ms. Belew. I mean, you know, candidly, for you to show mutual respect and then you to go after Ms. Owens, it's not appropriate. So, Ms. Owens, you can have 4 minutes and 34 seconds to respond. However,
yield for a second.
I'll yield to.
Thank you. I believe, Ms. Owens, when you used the word hilarious, it was referencing the fact that no one had asked you a question. It wasn't to the subject matter of the hearing. Is that right?
That is correct.
And to have another witness insinuate something that is not accurate is just not appropriate, Mr. Chairman, for how witnesses are supposed to behave in front of this committee. I also think you didn't say it doesn't matter about the subject matter of today's hearing. You said there are other subjects that matter as well, and maybe we should spend some time on those. Is that accurate?
That is correct, and they matter much, 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 much more, and I have said that. I said that in my opening, and I will say it again. You know that white supremacy and white nationalism is ranks nowhere near the top of the issues that are facing Black America. And the reason that you are bringing them up in this room is because it is an attempt to make the election all about race as the Democrats.
Not in my case, Ms. Owens. I'm sorry. Please do not characterize my motive.
Mr. Chairman, it's my time.
Yeah,
it's my time.
You've got your time, Mr. Meadows. I'll give you 3 more seconds.
Every 4 years, you bring up race, and you knew exactly what I meant when I said hilarious, and you just tried to do live what the media does all the time to Republicans, to our president, and to conservatives, which you tried to manipulate what I said to fit your narrative, okay? I was not referring to the subject matter that is hilarious. I said it's hilarious that we are sitting in this room today, and I've got 2 doctors and a missus, and nobody can give us real numbers that we can respond to so we can assess how big of a threat this is, because you know that it is not as big of a threat as you are trying to make it out to be so that you can manipulate. And the audacity of you to bring up the Christ Church shooting manifesto and make it seem as if I laughed at people that were slaughtered by a homicidal maniac is, in my opinion, absolutely despicable. And I think that we should be above that. To try to assign reality or any meaning to a homicidal maniac writing a manifesto, which, by the way, let the record show, also stated Spyro the Dragon, the child's cartoon, as a source of inspiration. He also cited Nelson Mandela as a source of information. I don't think that Nelson Mandela has inspired mosque shootings. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks high, white supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce, and it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having 3 Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America my whole life, all 30 years, and I can tell you that you guys have done the exact same thing every 4 years ahead of an election cycle, and it needs to stop.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In congressional hearings, the minority party gets to select its own witnesses. And of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the talking. So I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German.
So there's been a lot of talk today. I'd like to focus on actual policy responses that our government can do to try to mitigate the threat of white nationalism. I know that in my district in Los Angeles just last month, 2 swastikas were painted at Pan Pacific Park along with the Trail of Blood. I met with Jewish constituents in my district who mentioned that at their synagogues, they've all had to increase security. As you know, there is a nonprofit security grant program at the Department of Homeland Security. Do you believe it'd be worthwhile to increase funding?
Ms. Owens, I'm sorry. We just started recording. Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Lieu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
The witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please.
As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully extracted, he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that Hitler was whether or not I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. Not a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem. I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
And I'm not fucking talking to you, dude.
Why are liberals so angry? I can't figure out why you're angry.
Why are you angry? I'm not a liberal, so stop assuming my political affiliation.
You just came out of nowhere and just start cursing.
No, you invited me up here, raised my hand, and you said, please come up here.
I know, but I'm saying you just turned around and you're cursing at someone. Why don't you calm down? It's just a conversation.
I'm perfectly calm. I can curse
You don't have to turn around and curse anyone behind you.
I can.
You're okay?
It's a free country, right?
Okay. No, but I'm saying that it's not necessary to have this dialogue for you to turn around and be angry. I do always remark, and I am going to suspect that you are liberal, because right now you're trying to sell me my own.
I'm not liberal.
You're selling me my own oppression. So that's a very liberal stance.
I'm not liberal.
Usually when a white man stands up and tells me that, yes, this is a racist country and is oppressed, they do tend to be liberal. Only liberals try to
do with the KKK,
very little to
lynchings, and violence in the South that black people faced.
So what it has to do with is the fact that black people continue...
No, answer my question.
No,
very little to nothing.
Does it? Yes or no?
Very little.
You're not allowing
answer.
me to... Listen, you're not going to be like... You're not my boss. So don't tell me how I have to answer your question, okay? Nobody's intimidated from you telling me how I'm going to answer your question.
I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm trying to have an honest conversation.
Okay?
No, I'm trying to have an honest conversation, which you
Why don't you
guys
stop
do not want.
exercising your invisible white privilege and let the black girl talk for a second, okay?
That's nice.
The black community has been crippled economically. The answer would be yes. It has been crippled economically by Democrat policies. You just heard me say that
who
in
does
there.
it?
Democrats
are Americans. Democrats are in America, so therefore you just admitted that there has been disadvantages by two black people, by Democrats who are Americans. You just admitted it.
It is not based off. You asked me if white privilege exists.
The answer is white privilege. Because you're born white, that means you're going to not have this or that. It does not exist. No, it does not exist.
You just admitted that the Democrats, the boogeyman Democrats,
they're not boogeyman. They exist. Boogeyman doesn't exist.
No.
60 years
Democrats
ago.
do exist.
They did it.
So boogeyman means doesn't exist. Just so you know, there are Democrats.
So you admit that it exists.
60.
I don't think you're comprehending.
Yeah.
You're not.
So,
you're not comprehending.
I'm not sure that you are. You said
60 years ago, white people had it better than black people. Over time, there's no more systemic laws that are in place. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What can a white person do that a black person cannot do today in today's America? Name one thing.
Well, black people.
Answer the question. Isn't that how this works?
Fucking question. Black people who smoke marijuana, black and white people smoke marijuana at the same rates. Yet a black person is 3 to 4 times more likely to be put in jail for that.
Okay.
And I know the reason why, because the police are in the urban communities. It's easier to police those communities.
Because actually, I had a girlfriend. I had a family member who got a DUI, and I had a girlfriend who got a DUI.
Just to let you know, by just saying what you're saying and standing up here and knowing what's going on through the police brutality, through injustice,
I love that
joke.
behind me there's like black people rolling their eyes, but the 2 white guys are yelling at me, telling me that I don't agree with them. This is what I love about white liberals, right? Like they know it's so important for them to sell us our oppression that they'll come up and tell us we're a disgrace. Just say it. Just say it.
Can you speak for all
Well, why
black
don't you
people?
stop speaking for black people? That would be great, okay?
I'm not.
This is where the entire debate began. It was actually about vaccines. And Serena came across my rhetoric, which she deems to be anti-vax, because I have been very open with the fact that I am not comfortable with the rush nature of the COVID-19 vaccines or the pressures around getting the vaccines. And so I've made a personal decision not to get the vaccine. And this deeply upset Serena. Serena tweeted to me, "You are the one who is deranged and urging your millions of followers that the only true means of preventing a deadly virus that has taken hundreds of thousands of lives is not effective. Live without fear by all means, but to spread delusional lies is morally repugnant." And this amazed me. It amazed me that Serena called me delusional, because in case you did not know, Serena is trans. So I had stumbled across the internet as somebody who is a trans woman who is accusing me of being delusional because I am making a personal decision regarding my own health. And it actually gets even more bizarre. Serena went on in this Twitter exchange, and of course I answered back, and I said, "I just want to make sure that you're a trans woman telling me that I am a delusional person because I choose not to get a vaccine. You believe that between you and I am living in a delusion. Is that correct?" To which Serena answered, "Yes, Queen, I believe you are delusional. While my decision as a trans woman to get breast implants and turn my penis into a vagina impacts literally no one but me, your choice to deny science and spread anti-vax misinformation that spread delusion impacts many." Denying science. A trans woman is accusing me of denying science. Is biology not science? Is anatomy not science? Are none of these things physiology? Is that not science? So this is where we are in 2021, where we are now being preached to about the reality of science by people that have made decisions to transform their bodies and believe fully that they can actually, I say this to you with an open heart, there is no singular experience of womanhood. Reducing women to anatomy and reproductive abilities is an insult to so many women, trans and cis. What about the women who have fertility issues? Are they less of a woman? Those with hysterectomies, period. Okay, I want to respond to this because it's important. I have been a very loud voice against the transgendered movement, and I feel that I am one of the few voices that is standing up for women. I want to continue to do that right now on Counterpoint. So counterpoint number one is that this culture of the media and the academia and people pretending that being a woman means to simply walk in and pay for a cosmetic procedure is deeply misogynistic. My second counterpoint to you, Serena, is that a cosmetic procedure, believing that going in and getting breast implants makes you a woman, is an insult. I'll tell you why. Because what this trans movement represents is a caricature of what it means to be a woman. Being a woman isn't just having a procedure and getting your breasts done. I don't believe that Dolly Parton is more of a woman because she has extra large breasts. I want to give this to you another way. And I'll ask the question, Serena, do you believe that you can pick your race? Do you think race is a social construct? Do you believe that if you dyed your skin black and said, yo, 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 what up, my N-word, that would mean that you were suddenly black? Or would you realize that that would be a caricature of what it means to be black? That would be a joke to believe that because you said ayo and you rap and you wear a chain and some gold teeth, hey, I'm black. Nope. That would be an insult and a stereotype. And it is an insult and a stereotype to believe that makeup and breasts makes somebody a woman. And as my last counterpoint to you, Serena, I would like to address your idea that some women have hysterectomies. That's true. Some women have fertility issues. Does that make them less of a woman, you asked? And let me answer that question. No, it does not make them less of a woman. In fact, it affirms their womanhood. Only women can have hysterectomies. Only women go through menstruation. Only women can talk about that struggle of what it's like going through IVF and trying to conceive a child and what pressures that puts on the female body. That actually affirms their womanhood. These are experiences that only women can have. And when you decide that that means nothing, that you can walk in and pick a plastic surgeon and suddenly that makes you me, it's deeply hurtful and deeply upsetting. And I will continue to be a voice against it.